Hello guys and welcome back to HJW Gaming. Now earlier last week I made a video based on the Mathom chest and how to get a guaranteed piece of gold gear on a certain role every single time. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out, linked above or down in the description. But since then I've been sent by a couple of subscribers videos of them also testing this trick and what they got as a result, and I thought it'd be fun for me to kind of do a live reaction of those Mathoms, and so you can enjoy watching a little bit of a Mathom opening as well. If you do like this video, please hit the like button and please consider hitting the subscribe button, and without further ado, I really hope you enjoy. So without further ado, let's get into the first 5. So only 2 purple respect items this time, though interesting that they're Orcish tinctures. So this player is going for Ugthak as one of their tier 2s, and they also appear to be going for Gothmog, getting an invitation here, which is great to see. Always good to get a tier 2 invitation, particularly if it's Gothmog, as he's a very good tier 2 commander. Definitely recommend pushing his respect as high as possible. Witch King, we get respect item as well as a cutlass as well. I didn't quite see the buff there. Third set, another piece of purple items with the Drums of Moria, another good item, though not the best with Siege of Dwarves. Another Ancient Dragon Scale, as well as a respect item of Gothmog and another Orcish Tincture. No kind of gold equipment yet, unfortunately, for this player, though they are getting a lot of these gold respect items, with a third one in 20 Mathoms, I think that is, 25, and they get a Sauron respect item as well. Not good on that next one. They get Scout's Mail, which in my opinion is not particularly the best item, kind of only really usable on like an Eowyn or maybe a Theoden. Only an Orcish Tincture in the next one, so the luck's maybe starting to run out a little bit, although they do get another respect item here with Flames of Mount Doom. Oh, run out of battery on the iPad. Another Orcish Tincture, so they're going to get plenty of respect for this Ugthak. And another Scout's Mail, this time with Shroud. Oh, and another commander invitation, and this time it's the Shadow. That's interesting to see. Doesn't look like he's put any respect, or he or she, sorry, hasn't put any respect into the Shadow before, but it looks like they want to try and start pumping them up. Now the Shadow's an interesting commander. He can be very, very strong, but ideally you have to get him to very high respect. Minimum unique item levels of respect. But looks like this player wants to start trying to get his invitations and unlocking him, and started well with an invitation. Next 5, we have 2 respect items for Gothmog and also this Easterling Spear with Mounted Might. With that buff, it's kind of the best in slot, I think, for Carmel if you're using him with Fallen. Though it's not the best item for anyone. And another gold respect item, this time for Saruman, which is very interesting. And of course, this is the 60th Mathom, so we also get the guaranteed equipment. And this player gets the Tracker Plate, which if they're trying to put respect into Gothmog, this is fantastic, as it is one of the best in slot items for Gothmog, though unfortunately not with the Fortitude of Orcs buff, so not the best buff you can get. So into the next one. This player is showing exactly what they want to begin with. Looks like they want Dane, Gil or Aragorn 2 invites if possible, and they've opened straight away with an invitation. They didn't have any of the Yusra tier 1 invites, so they get one of those right off the bat. Maybe they're trying to get Yusra with unique, or just looking for someone to gather resources potentially, or siege. But yeah, that's Yusra friendly, and they also get a Hunter's Skin with Guard, which should be useful for Gil-galad, as will this Harp of Lothlorien, but particularly with Elf Strength, if they don't have something like that for Gil-galad already. Next 5, speaking of Gil-galad, we get a respect item as well, that's great to see, and another Elven Harp as well, so an extra refine for that Elf Strength. This player is going to be pumping up their Gil a little bit if they don't already have better items. We have a piece of gold equipment before the 60th chest, so this player's got lucky and drew a full odds piece of gold equipment, which means they're going to get 2 out of this 60, which is great to see. This time it's Belt of the Citadel with Iron Guard, which maybe is not the best item in the world, but it is pretty decent. Gives bonus HP for men and also healing through Iron Guard. We have a full helm here with blinding barrier, which is an interesting item. Very good if you want to create like a commander damage build to counter things like Witch King and Sauron. Next 5, we get the first gold respect item for Aragorn, King of Men, as well as a scale mail as well with guard, unfortunately. I personally prefer it with melee vigor. Next 5, again only purples. We get a Gandalf the Grey respect item and an Arnor cask with warding. And after getting lucky with the gold equipment, not getting a lot of luck with gold respect items in this 60, but they do get a mounted vigor horseman's helm and also another respect item for Gimli. And in the next 5, another invitation for Usura, so one closer towards full unlock, and also a respect item for Dane with this Ithildin coin. And a respect item for Legolas or Arwen as well, which is good to see. Next 5 with 15 to go. And we do get that final invitation for Usura. So this player's now got Usura fully unlocked, which is good to get all 3 invites in 50 Mathoms. That's great to see. In the next 5, not a huge amount of luck. A Trapper's Hood with poison. Normally you'd look for Hysteria. So not massively lucky, but there are 5 more Mathoms to go. And we know the last one's going to contain equipment, but they appear to be doing them one by one. So we've got a High King of Noldor's Banner in the first 3. So perhaps vindicating the choice. Moving on, nothing in the 3rd, nothing in the 4th. And this one is going to contain the gold equipment, so let's see what they get. They get an Obsidian Dagger, which is interesting. A very good item if you're looking to use King of the Dead or Sauron. In fact, with this resurrection buff with HP recovery for undead, it's I think this might be the best in slot item for King of the Dead. I could be wrong. But if you can get it with amplification, which boosts focus damage, it's also very strong for Sauron. But 2 pieces of gold equipment, that player can be very happy. And moving on to the next one. This time we've got Evil Side, lucky enough to have Witch King full pulled. And looking towards Sunind and Sauron invites by the look of it. Right off the bat, a gold respect item, as well as a purple, and an Uruk-hai broadsword with Orc Strength, which is a best in slot purple item for Gothmog. Also a Goblin Armour here, which is, again, the purple armour of choice for Gothmog as well. Perhaps between that and a Scale Mail, both can be very effective. Next 5, just a respect item for Mouth of Sauron. Though in the 20th pool, do get another Goblin Armour, this time with Gallant, again, not the best buff, but also get a Heradric Trinket for Sunind. I know it's only 50 Mathoms in this one, so perhaps they pulled 10 already. In the next 5, a full helm with melee vigor, halfway through this player's pools now. And in the next 5, we get 3 purple items, respect item for Gothmog, a Trapper's Hood, unfortunately, with dragon slaying, but also a brutal helmet with Uruk-hai vigor, which is a decent item. I like it as it gives the HP buff. Ancient Dragon Scale in the next 5. Anything else? We get a Mouth of Sauron respect item as well. This player's really rattling through these 50 Mathoms. In the next ones, we get a Wizard's Fireworks with Ranged Might. Very useful if this player's trying to build a Sunind, as that is kind of best in slot purple. Maybe you might want one with Hunter's Mark, but still boosting the range damage can be very effective. And also a Hauberk as well. Last 5 for the gold item, and there's a Worn Out Smoking Pipe only in here. And this last 5 gonna have the gold item, so let's see what they get. Oh, they do get a Heradric Trinket as well, so they double up on the golden items. And another player who gets the Tracker's Plate. So I can't remember if I saw Gothmog respect items in there, so they've got a lot of stuff that's good for Gothmog, potentially without using him. But Tracker's Plate, as I said, very good. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the resilience of Orc's buff, which is the one I said earlier is kind of the best in my opinion of this player, showing that they want resilience. But yeah, maybe they do have a Gothmog building then if they've shown us that. But anyway, on to the next one. Once again, showing us, or at least they're going to show us picking the wish list this time. So which commanders are they going to go for? So they want Dane, Aragorn, King of Men, and looks like they're non-role play for the first time. So this is going to be a Witch King, Dane, and an Aragorn, King of Men. As far as I can see, they haven't had all the invites for any of these yet. And I don't know if it shows on the screen. So we have Gothmog as well, Gandalf the Grey, a Mouth of Sauron, which is interesting. Dwalin, Faramir for the tier 1s, and Grima as well. Yeah, no invitations for pretty much any of them as far as I could see there. They scrolled off quite quickly, but quite a few invitations could come in here. But in the first 5, it's only an Orc Officer medal for Gothmog, but there is an invitation in the next 5, and this time it's for Mouth of Sauron. I was thinking with barely any invitations gained, there could be quite a few in here, as they seem to pop quite a lot when you don't have many invitations gained. So that's an invite for Mouth of Sauron, as well as a respect item for Gandalf the Grey. Next 5, it's a tier 1 invite, this time for Dwalin. Looks like this is an early season account, at least judging from the fact that Dwalin's only respect 5. But along with that invite, they also get a respect item for, there's a lot in here, King of Men, and a respect item Gandalf the Grey, and a bone mask as well. Very handy indeed. Not so lucky on the next 5, respect item for Mouth of Sauron and Gandalf the Grey. Another invite on the 2nd, which is a Gothmog invite, their first, so it takes him up to the friendly stage. Excellent to see. Again, the idea of this player I think is a very early season, potentially, judging from the lack of invites and Dwalin being respect 5. This looks like a season 1 or 2 player, I think. But Drums of Moria with Haste of Soldiers, that's a good piece of equipment to get, particularly if you are early season. Next 5, a Royal Banner of Elendil for Aragorn King of Men, and also a Scale Mail, unfortunately with Uptight rather than Melee Vigor. Next 5 comes with a Trapper's Hood with Dragon Slaying, which is the same as what one of the players earlier received. We're really rattling through these as well. Another 5, and we only get a respect item for Gandalf the Grey. Not great luck in the last couple. But in the next 5, we get a Royal Banner of Elendil, and I can't remember if this is the 60th Mathom or not. Oh, a second respect item here as well, with an Ancient Dragon Scale for Witch King. So that's 2 golds in the same pull, and a purple with an Elven Dirk. And we must be approaching the 60th Mathom now, so there's got to be a piece of gold equipment coming. Maybe after this one. 2 more respect items for Gandalf the Grey. Maybe not after this one, but pull another 5 and get an almost identical pull. 2 more respect items for Gandalf the Grey. So if they are early season, they're going to have Gandalf very much ready to farm. And I think in the last 5, Dwalin gets another invite, which pushes him up towards respect 6. Also another respect item for Witch King, which is great to see. And finally, the piece of equipment, they get an Elven Cloak, which unfortunately, with the commanders they've picked, is not the best piece of equipment ever. Yeah, see here, Focus, Speed, Army HP, and Commander Focus. So not the best they could have had for what commanders they were going for, unfortunately. But hopefully they can use that to strengthen. Anyway, if you have enjoyed that, please drop a like and please consider hitting the subscribe button. It'd be massively appreciated by me. And if you want to be involved, let me know in the comments and I can look towards picking up some of your Mathom opening videos and I can upload them also on this channel. And with that, that's everything from me. I've been HJW Gaming and I really hope to see you on the next one.